Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Di, and today I'm sharing with you my diary entry for the week of July 9th through 15th. Today is Saturday, July 15th. It is a hot one. I still haven't figured out how to get my cooler to work the best in my home yet, so yeah, it's still kind of uncomfortable in here, but it is better than it is outside. We're in the mid-90s right now. By the end of next week, it's going to be over 100, so I'm not looking forward to that. But yeah, I don't think I have much to talk to you about this week because I haven't finished anything. But I will tell you what books I'm in the middle of at the moment. I do have a very, very small knitting update. I did purchase some figures recently, so I guess I'll share those with you, and then we'll just do a little bit of chit chat at the end. So let's get started. So first off, I am almost finished with The House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. Like I said before, I'm buddy reading this with my friend Amy from A Star Reads. This has been a very, very surprising read. I was not prepared for one of the scenes that we came across this past week, and I actually teared up a bit. I am not a very emotional reader, and it takes a lot for me to actually have tears fall down my face. And that actually happened this week. I wouldn't say I was like sobbing, but tears definitely were rolling down my face. And so, good job, Sarah J. Maas. It takes a lot. It takes a lot. It's very rare for me to cry during books. I can't even tell you what the last book I read that made me cry was. That's how much it takes for me to get attached. And this book had me tearing up, and then a couple chapters later, laughing hysterically. And if you've read this one, the scene has to do with vacuuming the gallery. That's all I'm going to say. I think that's vague enough. I don't believe anybody could find a spoiler in that. So, yes, I was cracking up. We are like 50 pages away from the end, I think. We're on chapter 90, page 753. I think this book is 799. It's just shy of 800. So maybe we'll finish this next week. We'll have to see. But yes, really, really enjoying that one. Now, I did DNF a book this week. So I mentioned to you last week that I started Jade City. And I DNF'd it this past week. I got to chapter 16, page 134. So you can see about that much. I was listening to this on audiobook. I got to 26%. And I could care less about what happens in this world to these characters. Nothing was interesting to me. There was a lot of family drama, and that's not my thing. And so it just wasn't for me. It just wasn't for me. And so I decided to go ahead and DNF it. Now, I pretty much knew before going into this that it wasn't going to be my type of thing because family drama. It sounded like there was going to be some turf wars in there. But I was surprised at the fact, after I started reading it, that the writing style was very masculine. And I have found that more masculine writing styles are not my thing either. And just the way that the story was laid out wasn't appealing to me. Like I had mentioned before, there was a random sex scene towards the beginning of this book that I was just like, why? And so, yeah. Nothing grabbed me about this. I wasn't interested in what was going on, and it just wasn't for me. So I decided to go ahead and let myself DNF that. So I will not be continuing with that one. I don't even have any kind of thought about maybe just putting it on hiatus and trying again later, because that's how much I wasn't into that story. I have no questions about what's going to happen to the characters, what's going on with the Jade. I have no interest. So, yeah. I had said before, my mom has read the series. She enjoyed it. And so since we had the books, I thought I'd give it a go. it's not for me. I should have listened to my instincts, but I didn't. And I gave it a try, and it just is not for me. So Jade City is not going to be something that I read in the future. So because I went ahead and DNF'd the audiobook that I was listening to, I needed another one because I like to have an audiobook going during the week for me to listen to during my lunch breaks. It's part of the way I unwind. It's part of the way I unwind during lunch. And so I decided to start one that I've been really, really interested to get back to, or start the series I wanted to get back to. And so I started the audiobook for Cherish, which is the 6th book in the Crave series by Tracy Wolff. So if you've been like following me through the last year, I've read books 2, 3, 4, and 5 this year. Really enjoyed them. This is the last book in the series. I bought the audiobook because that's how much I've been enjoying the audiobooks of the series. And so I thought this would be the perfect time to go ahead and start listening to the final part of the series. Unfortunately, my stress level was so bad this week that I could not concentrate on what was going on in here. I just know that there are parts that I'm going to need to reread because during my lunch breaks this week, I was just like, okay, what happened? How did we get here? I was thinking about stuff that was going on during work, which I really shouldn't be doing during my lunch break. That's your time to unwind. And I just couldn't this week. I was covering 3 desks on Monday, 2 desks for the rest of the week. My stress level was high. I mentioned to you, I think before, that my desk is really busy right now just because of the way my industry is at the moment. And so there was all of that, and I just could not concentrate on this audiobook. And I don't want to just like passively listen to this because I'm really interested to see how everything wraps up. I really love this series, and so I decided to stop listening to this for right now. And so I still needed an audiobook. I will get back to this. I will, when my concentration is better. So when your concentration is not good and you're super stressed, my thought is to immediately go to something that I've read before. So to do a reread. And not only just to do a reread, but to do a reread of a favorite series that I've had. And I've talked about the series a lot on my channel. It's the Ghost Hunter Mystery Series by Victoria Laurie. So this is the 3rd book in the series, and you can kind of tell that it takes place in San Francisco. So this I have already read before, like I said. This one is kind of like a haunted hotel kind of scenario, but in this book we also start the like television type aspect of where the story goes. And so our main character MJ is invited to participate in kind of a haunted antiques roadshow type TV show, but they're also filming this pilot episode in a haunted hotel. And so things are really, really interesting. We've already had some things happen at the hotel. I am on chapter 5, page 82, and this was just what I needed. I could actually concentrate on this, and I don't know if it's because Cherish is like a fantasy, esque type series. You've got lots of vampires and different clans, and there's political things going on, and they haven't quite gotten to their quest portion yet, which is what I really enjoy about the series, was all the quests and things like that. But this series is more like, normal people, everyday people that are dealing with the unexpected, maybe their first time handling a supernatural experience, and I can actually concentrate on this. I was very surprised, and I think it's because I'm already familiar with the series, even though it's been, I think, 10 years since I read this book. This is kind of where the series really picked up for me, starting from this book. Maybe more like the second book, the Hatchet Man really like got to me. And so, yeah, I would say it started there, but for me, the series became one that I could not put down from here. So I really enjoyed this one the first time I read it, and I'm really looking forward to getting more into this one. And I think it was a good choice for me to pick up something that I had read before, you know, in times of stress and times that I'm not able to concentrate. Even though, for whatever reason, I was able to concentrate on what was going on in this book. So I'm glad to be back with these characters. I will eventually get back to these characters, hopefully before the end of the month. But that is what I read this week. So, no, it's not. I forgot to mention the other ebook that I'm reading. So, because I don't have it here, I tend to forget. I'm still reading Helicoprion by Michael Cole. This one is about a prehistoric shark in modern times. And I'm about 52% right now. It's still really interesting. We are kind of past all of the like shark attacks. We don't get as many now where I am. It's more people trying to catch the shark, find out exactly what type of shark it is. Different people working the case, like I said, the marine biologist. We've got a couple of different police detectives. They've now talked to a coroner. And yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I'm hoping that this book will be what I have been looking for as far as shark fiction. I had mentioned to you last week that there was one promising book last year, but it took like a weird twist in the last 10% of the book that really like made everything go downhill for me. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen with this one. Right now, I'm really enjoying it. It's everything that I was looking for in a shark fiction book for Shark Month. I do call it Shark Month because I enjoy all things sharky in the month of July. But yeah, I had mentioned to you that I was going to participate in the Sharkathon readathon this week, but apparently Shark Week wasn't this week. It's not until the 23rd, which is not this coming week or the week that you're watching this, but the week after. So I didn't participate in the readathon this week because it's not Shark Week, but I do still intend on participating in it. That being said, the Choose Your Own Adventure readathon, I believe, starts on the 16th, which is tomorrow for me. So we'll be doing 1 week of just the Choose Your Own Adventure readathon, and then the second week will be Choose Your Own Adventure readathon and the Sharkathon. So I had planned my reads for the Sharkathon a little bit, but now that everything's kind of moved as far as dates go, some of the things I had planned to read, I can't read because a couple of the things I was planning on reading were going to be for the Monochrome Manga Club meeting, which is coming up this Thursday. So since the Sharkathon's not happening until after the Monochrome Manga Club meeting, I can't use the Monochrome Manga Club selections for the Sharkathon. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of reshuffling with my plans. But now that it's also happening, kind of coinciding with the Choose Your Own Adventure readathon, I'm going to have to see if my prompts for the Choose Your Own Adventure readathon will help me fill in some of those prompts for the Sharkathon. So it might get a little bit complicated for me in the last week of July, but I'm still looking forward to both readathons. So I'm going to try to vlog my prompts in the Choose Your Own Adventure readathon, like kind of story play, because it's a story kind of based readathon. And so you like, just like a Choose Your Own Adventure book, you read text and then you choose your path. And for the readathon, that gives you your prompt. And so we'll see how that goes. I do plan on still doing like a weekly update. So my diary entry for next week will probably include my gameplay throughout the Choose Your Own Adventure readathon. And then on Saturday, the 22nd, I'll come and film my thoughts on the books that I read if I don't give you my thoughts as I do the vlogging. So we'll see how that goes. I'm just going to play it by ear, but I do intend to have a video for you next week, Wednesday, the 19th. So yeah, we're just going to play it by ear, but I'm definitely participating in the Choose Your Own Adventure readathon and incorporating that into my diary entry for the week. So that's everything I have read this week, everything I'm planning on for the next couple weeks. I did tell you I have a small knitting update, so you might have noticed my Christmas knitting bag. Trying to channel those Christmas in July vibes because, like I said, it's very hot and I need some emotional pick-me-ups. That plus my stress and everything. So what I decided to do was, since it is Christmas in July, to pull out this Christmassy project that I had languishing in this bag. So I pulled out my daughter's Hippos for Christmas crunkled socks. So the yarn here is Lolo Did It's Hippos for Christmas 2018, I believe. And I am now on to the heel. You can see the beginnings of a heel there. We're just doing a normal slip stitch heel. And this is Cascade yarns in like a tealy color. And so I'm not very far into the heel flap at the moment, but I haven't worked on this very much. I just picked this up last night. I was here the last time I showed this project to you. So I've only done this much plus this much. I mean, so far it's looking good. We did 45 rows before we started the heel flap. And so, yes, the crunkled pattern is a really easy pattern to kind of memorize, and it produces this really, really squishy fabric. And it's looking really, really nice with the Hippos for Christmas yarn. This stitch marker, I actually used the finding from my Maleficent wooden marker because the wood cracked and now it can't be put back onto the marker. And so I had this little charm. It's kind of like an angel, but it is a leaf down here at the bottom and an angel with a halo. I used to make little charms like this when I was in my early 20s, just for fun. I used to be into beadwork a little bit, and I would hand bead things, and so I was just making these little things. I never sold them, but now in my knitting years, they're starting to come in handy. And so, yeah, I had found this one in a jewelry box. And so I thought, you know what, I'm just going to attach it to this earring backing and use it as a stitch marker. So that's exactly what I did. And it's perfect. It matches the colors and everything. So, yeah, I'm doing this on my Addi Flexi Flips, which are these flexible double pointed needles, 2.25 millimeter. And these are really, really fun to work with, especially on my daughter's socks because her socks are a smaller circumference, and I can get that heel flap the way that I do it, all of the stitches on these without having to switch to a magic loop kind of technique with a longer needle and all of that. These work great. And so, yes, much better for me also than the 9-inch circulars. And so, yes, I really enjoy these, and it's a fun project. So I anticipate I'm going to continue to work on this sock tonight while we're continuing to watch shark documentaries. That's just kind of been the thing that I've been enjoying all week, is shark documentaries. And so, yeah, there are a lot of documentaries on the Disney Channel. And so we've been slowly going through all of those. You will notice that this bag looks kind of full, much fuller than it should be for one sock project. And that's because I have a second sock project in here to work on for my daughter, another Christmas themed sock project. So I had this chunk of leftover sock and wool. It's kind of like a DK yarn that just trying to use up the rest, so I was going to use those for like the leg part. And then I've got this Patton's Croix and just the plain, like, it's called muslin. It's like an off-white to do the heel flap and the foot. So yeah, I thought I'd do that for my daughter. Probably just going to be more of a plain, maybe broken rib for the leg part, if not just plain vanilla sock. But we'll see once I'm done with the hippos. But I really do like the crunkled sock pattern. Like I said, it's really easy to memorize. I did find that my hands didn't bother me while I was working on the Addy Flexi flips. So I think I just don't tense as much on the Flexi flips as I do with the 9-inch circulars. It's just the way that I hold the 9-inch circulars, I think, that I have to be very careful. And that definitely is the knitting like technique that causes me the most strain. And so instead of going back to my other projects that have the 9-inch circulars, I decided to go ahead and go with this one, and that worked out great. So it was too hot this week for me to pick up my love note, so I thought this would be better. And I was like really exhausted this week, which is why I didn't pick up any knitting until last night. And yeah, so I hope to put in more of that. I really don't like to like stop working on a heel flap until it's like fully like reconnected back to the leg, because I find that it can get fiddly and could fall off your needles. But it was like really late last night when I got into the heel flap, and so I decided to just get it started and put in as many rows as I could before I stopped. And so yeah, I'm having fun with that project, and provided it doesn't cause me any more pain in my hands, I will continue to work on that project. So channeling those Christmas in July vibes this week, just, you know, just trying to be like happy and bring on those feelings of coolness and those, you know, memories of cooler weather. Just, I don't know, the holidays always make, I guess, people in general, for the most part, and I know there's a lot of people that don't find the holidays happy, but for me, definitely brings those feelings of happiness, feelings of cool weather, and it's just kind of something that I need mentally right now with how stressed I was this week. And so yeah, just channeling those Christmas in July vibes. Now, I did tell you I purchased a couple of figures. So I actually purchased one of these a while back, but I was kind of looking for this other one for a while, and we were finally able to get our hands on it this week. So I thought I'd share those with you. So you know that we finished the Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba manga series this year, and I really enjoyed two specific characters. And these two characters caused me the most like emotional turmoil, I would say, during the series. So the one that I got a few weeks ago was Muichiro. He is the Miss Tashiro. And so they had this one, and they had a different one. They had this like sepia looking one that's like a special edition, I think. Muichiro has to be these turquoise colors. I mean, that's his original color. It's my favorite color, and so I had to get this one. So I got that one. And then the one we just got our hands on this week, Rengoku. I would say that this was probably the most emotional scenes in his arc that we've had in the anime. And then when I read it in the manga, the heartbreak. So I had to have Rengoku. It just looks really nice. These Q posket figures are really cute. Again, they had this like sepia colored one, but again, it has to be these vibrant flame colors because he is the flame Hashira. Just adorable. So I had to have these. I'm glad to have these now. Actually, I don't think I even shared with you when I had gone to Disney World in Japan at the, I said that wrong. When I went to Disney World, we went to Epcot, and Epcot has a Japan. And in Epcot's Japan, there's a, like, Monifato store. Trinket store. We call little trinkets Monifatos. And so they had the Rengoku Funko Pops. And so I picked up a Rengoku Funko Pop there. So I have a Rengoku Funko Pop. And I have a Rengoku Q-Posket. So, very happy to have these. They are super adorable. And I'm very glad to have those now. So, I don't know if I'm going to put them together or just leave them in the box because boxes are super cute. So, yeah. I might just leave them in the box. But I'm not really much for figures outside of Funkos. But these cute Posket ones are super cute. And so I'm glad to have those. And I think that's everything I have to share. I've already told you how stressful my week was. Next week I won't have to cover extra desks. So that will be amazing. Other than the fact that it's going to be ultra hot. But, you know, I'll take one win. I'll take only working on my own desk for a bit. This week was bad. The stress was bad. I was exhausted. I was working over an hour every day overtime, which I don't get paid for, or I've mentioned before, because I'm salaried, and it was just issues coming up, things that weren't on my desk, was other people's work I was taking care of, and it was just a bad time. So I'm looking forward to things getting back to normal in my work day. Like I said, I'm looking forward to participating in the readathons coming up. Looking forward to the manga club meeting this coming week, which means that I will also start reading the Monochrome Manga Club selections tonight. I probably should have started last night, but time just got away from me and I didn't realize that the meeting was this close, so I'll do that tonight. I'll try to take footage of the manga shopping that I'll do at the store while we're there for the meeting. I did actually take footage last month. I just forgot to throw it into the diary entry. So if you're interested in seeing what I picked up for the month, you can check out my June manga haul, which is already up on my channel, which incorporates some of the stuff that I picked up at the Monochrome Manga Club meeting. And so I think that's gonna do it for me today. Yeah, it's been a bad week. It's been a bad week, but it can only get better, right? I can't do anything about the heat, but at least my stress level should come down. I'm gonna have fun with the readathon, and so yeah, I'll share that with you next week. Hopefully I'll have some finished books to talk to you about as well. So let me know down in the comments below how your week went. I hope it was so much better than mine. I hope it's not as hot where you are either. And if you finished any books this week, I'd love to hear about them. And if nothing else, and you'd just like to let me know that you were here, if you could leave me some kind of like Christmassy emoji just to evoke those Christmas in July vibes down in the comments below, that would be greatly appreciated and would really help me out. And that will do it for me today. So I hope you're all doing great. I hope you're all safe and healthy. And until next time, take care and smile always. Bye.